The Milwaukee Bucks just made another sneaky good signing. GM John Horst continues his crafty offseason with yet another clutch move to position the Bucks for next season. What's up, everybody? I'm your host, Nathan Burton, here with Bucks Digest, your number one source on YouTube for all things Bucks. Thank you for being here with me today. I'm going to get right into things. We're going to talk about the signing of Chris Livingston. Chris Livingston renewed his contract with the Bucks. I'm going to talk about why I think this is a great move for the Bucks. It's low risk, high reward. I'm going to talk about how this guy has been improving over the last couple years and how you guys might be surprised at the type of contribution we might get out of Chris Livingston this season. But before I get too far into it, I just want to mention everybody, please hit that subscribe button. You guys have been running up the subscriptions for myself and Nick, and we really appreciate it. Please continue to do so. So let's talk about Chris Livingston. He re-signed with Milwaukee on a 1-year, $2.3 million guaranteed contract. The Bucks have always liked this guy. I've always seen something in this guy, and it's clear by the fact that he's had 3 straight years of guaranteed contracts. Shams reported this yesterday. He guaranteed a $2.3 million contract, like I said, and he was the 58th pick in the draft. That's the last pick in the NBA draft. So to see him living his NBA dream and getting that 3rd year of a guaranteed deal, that is awesome. Shams also said that the Summer League was a big reason why this contract came through. Chris Livingston has been balling out in Summer League, averaging 20 points and 5.3 rebounds, shooting 50% from the field and 37.5% from 3. That is massive. He also had his best game versus the Bulls, where he put up 23 points and 5 rebounds. You can see that the development is there. He came out of college as not so much a scorer and really touted for his defense and athleticism, but you can see those other parts of his game are coming out here in Summer League. So you guys, like I said, might remember him being drafted with the last pick in the draft a couple years ago, but he's come a long way since then. But it's clear the Bucks saw something right from the beginning with this guy. They signed him right after the draft to a 4-year, $7.7 million rookie deal. The first 2 years were guaranteed, and that was the highest salary for any player drafted with the last pick in the draft. So, of course, that deal ended. They opted out of that deal, signed a 1-year deal here for $2.3 million guaranteed. So that it's clear they're happy with his development, but they've seen something from the very beginning in Chris Livingston. One thing that's awesome that maybe the Bucks saw coming is that Chris Livingston is still growing. Apparently, he was listed at 6'6" coming out of college and is now measuring at 6 foot 7.5 inches. He also has a 6'11", almost 7 foot wingspan. That is massive. That's going to allow him to play the kind of defense at the wing in the NBA that every team needs and the Bucks need sorely. So it's good to see that he's not only growing when it comes to skill set, but he's also physically still growing. He's only 20 years old. This guy is going to be massive for the Bucks if he continues the upward trajectory of his progression. You guys might remember him at Kentucky. Yeah, he didn't have, the stats and the career in college that'll jump off the page at you. He averaged pretty much, 6 points, not exactly crazy numbers, but you might remember that Kentucky team was stacked with several NBA prospects, including recent NBA champion Kasem Wallace was on that team. There was a lot of good players on that team, so he wasn't a focal point of the offense, you would say. This was his stats in college. So like I said, 34 games played, 6.3 points, 4.2 rebounds, 42.9 from the field, 30.5 from 3. Nothing crazy, but he's come a long way since then. His G League stats are right here from last year. He played just over 50 games in the G League. He put up 18.7 rebounds and 2 assists in the G League, shooting 48.6%. You'd like to see a little bit better from three, shooting 28.3 on the season, but it's clear that he's putting together his offensive package and his defensive gifts are undeniable. He had one game where he had 35 points last year in the G League on 71% shooting. So it's clear that this guy is growing into his role and may be a sneaky good player off the bench for the Bucks this year. It's nice to hear the way Chris Livingston talks about himself as well. He's quoted as saying, "He takes none of this for granted, bro. I'm a hard worker. I come in early. I leave late." I think that's what the coaches can expect. So all in all, I mean, he won't be a guy that's playing 20 minutes for this team, but it's good to know that we have these guys on the end of the bench down the pipe to come in and play legitimate NBA minutes. And God forbid there's an injury on this roster where we don't have a lot of flexibility for movement. It's good to know that we have quality young players coming through the system and ready to contribute. I think Chris Livingston may surprise some of us. Hopefully the coaches will trust him. I mean, we've talked in the past about Doc Rivers and his inability to trust young players. So I'm hoping Doc Rivers may be adjusting a little bit and these young guys might get some run, hopefully, especially in the early season. It'll be nice to see what Chris Livingston is capable of. I want to know what you guys think, though. Do you guys think Chris Livingston can be an impact player for this team? I think a guy who's nearly 6'8" with a 7-foot wingspan on the wing will always have a place on NBA rosters. The wings in this league are so talented. We need guys who are long and athletic and can defend. If he can continue to grow his offensive game, I think he could be good for us. I want to know what you guys think, though. Please leave your comments down below and let me know, and we'll be back soon on Bucks Digest. Let's go.